There has been drama and division at CITES 2016, but Wednesday saw a victory for the world's most trafficked mammal. Trade in all 8 African and Asian pangolin species will be completely banned. Pangolin parts are often used in traditional Asian medicine. Representatives have also agreed to form a working group on how to protect Africa's lions. Clashes continued, though, over increased protection of the continent's elephants. 29 countries want a total ban on the ivory trade, while 4 Southern African countries say sales of ivory and trophy hunting are vital to conservation efforts. They've pointed to their thriving elephant populations as proof. Environment ministers from the Southern African Development Community have held a press conference called Keep Calm and Let Africa Speak, saying other members should learn from their successes.
Responsible, and we know exactly that what we need to do as responsible governments and citizens regarding biological management, community empowerment, enforcement measures and regulatory measures are things that we have to do, and we will continue to act on those. And we are not in a crisis, would like to believe.
It's true that in SADC, this is where you find 2/3 of the world population of elephants. But it's not cheap to reach that far. It means our governments have had to fork out a lot of resources, whilst we are being appreciated for the good work that we have done, because this is a world resource. Contrary to those that criticize us, we continue making supreme sacrifices by investing resources, and yet we are not getting anything from those that oppose us.
We know what we do with them to look after them. And people should, instead of working against us, should actually ask us how, despite all those challenges, we've still kept the numbers going. And it's not just elephants and lions, virtually everything you think of.
And for the latest, I'm now joined live by CCTV's Clementine Logan in Johannesburg. Clem, plenty of drama already, but what's still in store?
Well, Panina, this was always going to be a complex conference with 64 different countries putting forward proposals to be discussed and decided upon here at the 17th Conference of the Parties, affecting close to 500 different species. It's no wonder then that the Secretary-General of CITES, John Scanlon, has described this meeting as one of the most critical in the 43-year history of the convention. Well, he's due to brief the media later on today about the past day's events and highlights, but I managed to sit down with him earlier and began by asking what some of the most significant moments so far have been.
In the committee that's looking at the law and other things, they've adopted the first ever resolution on cybercrime. How do we combat cybercrime as it affects wildlife crime? Another one there on demand reduction. Now, we've all accepted that when we combat illegal wildlife trade, we have to deal with supply and demand. A lot of the effort's been directed at the supply end, what's happening in the source country to stop the poaching. This is a dedicated resolution for the first time saying, how do we have more targeted responses to demand? How do we curb the demand that's driving this illegal trade? So we've now got a better balance between supply and demand.
Well, there's still a lot of ongoing debate and discussion here at COP17 about how best to protect Africa's wildlife, and representatives here now have just under a week to decide and agree upon the best way to secure a future for the continent's most endangered species. Back to you.
Clem, thanks very much for that. Clementine Logan live for us there in Johannesburg.